Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to the long-awaited Muspah killing guide. This guide is going to show you how to kill creatures that are currently the best magic or defense experience in the game, and how to camp there for a while without taking too much damage, because these things do kind of wreck you, but there is a method to kill them in which you can stay for a while and not have to bank constantly for food, and I'll be showing that. So before we go over our gear and inventory setup, I will say that even though these are the best magic experience in the game, they do have some major cons, and I would not recommend doing them for most players, but I will talk about that a little bit later once I'm actually showing you the method of killing them. So for the gear that I'd recommend, I just wore subjugation and I was absolutely fine. If you have higher defensive armor, you can bring it, but it won't make a huge difference because you just get wrecked there no matter what you bring. I also tried it in the Sea Singers and I got hit very hard. So I also have the Dragon Rider Amulet, a Slayer Helm, just because it offers good defense to all stats. Completionist Cape, you can just wear a skill cape, that works just fine. I have a Chaotic Staff, which is what I would recommend unless you want to bring a Virtus Wanted Book or a Seismix. And then a 6-stage circuit, and you want to upgrade that to teleport to World Gate. And how you do that is you can just teleport straight to the Guthix Shrine and talk to the dude there, and he'll upgrade it for you, provided you completed the quest. And also you want the Vampirism Aura. If you don't have the Vampirism Aura, you'll have to bank more often, but that's just the way life is sometimes. And in your inventory, you want Extreme Magic, Prayer Renewal, some Prayer Potions, some food, Unicorn Stallion. You want Blood and Fire Runes, and you want to be on Ancient Magics, and you want to be using Blood Fire spells, or really any other kind of spell. Since you will be using abilities, you won't be using auto attacks, it doesn't really matter, but you do want to be using ancient spells. Then you want to have a unicorn's pouch with healing aura scrolls, or you can bring a yak that's full of food with some scrolls to bank the items, because they do drop a lot of rune items and stuff, and a ring to bank. You will need to bank, but it takes about 30 seconds to get back there, so it's not really a big deal. You just teleport to World Gate, and then you enter the World Gate. And as soon as I load here, just click on Enter the World Gate and go to, what I like to do is I like to just go to the Elder Halls, because that gives you a second to prep and gear up and all, and make sure you're ready. And then just click on Exit this rock face, and you'll climb right up to where the Muspahs are. So that's how you get there. It's pretty easy. It only takes a few seconds to bank, not a big deal. So I'll go into some testing I did on them. Okay, so now we get into actual testing myself. I only did a 10-minute test here, but I feel like the training method doesn't really change no matter what you do, so it's not going to really make a huge difference whether I tested it for 10 minutes or whether I tested it for longer. And I will just come out and say that the XP rate that I got here was actually 599k magic per hour. So we'll just go with 600k an hour, round up a little bit, and we'll say that that's 800k total experience per hour. You know, taking into account the hit points XP as well. And I did say earlier I would not recommend doing these, and there's a couple reasons for that. The first thing that I want to get out there is the only time I'd recommend doing this is if you have you know, attack, strength, and range all 99, and you need either defense or magic still to get 99, and you already have 99 Slayer and Summoning. That is the only time I would recommend to do these. Otherwise, I would not recommend them, because even though they are very fast, they don't drop any charms, which is a huge drawback, and also they can't be assigned as a Slayer task. Also, if you're a player that likes to slay or likes to play Runescape to gain XP, and you already have 99s and all your combat stats, I would not recommend these, because for one, you're not going to get any charms. And if you don't get any charms from using your magic, you know, training your magic and defense, then that means you're going to have to cannon Dagonos for charms, which is not only very expensive, but is all very inefficient, because that means you'll have to train Slayer with melee only, and you really do not want to be doing that. So that's why I'd highly recommend, even for players that are already maxed and only care about experience, unless you plan on never ever getting 200 million Slayer and Summoning, and all you care about is combat XP, then go for it by all means. But otherwise, I just wouldn't recommend doing these, because there's no charms, and the no charms really kills you. And also the fact that you can only train magic and defense here. And the reason for that is, earlier, as you remember, I said you have to use ancient spells. If you are using ancient spells here, you get double damage, and it's not nearly as good if you're not doing double damage. It's obviously about half the speed. If you kill them half as fast, and you get half the experience per hour if you're not using ancient spells here. So you have to use ancient spells here. Also, if you don't use ancient spells here, you just get wrecked so hard you cannot stay for very long. I actually tried it out with melee, and it just didn't work at all, because you just run out of food so fast, because these Muspahs hit really hard. I must say that. But anyway, yeah, you do have to use ancient spells here. That is an absolute must, so you can only trade magic or defense. Anyway, that's a bit disappointing, the fact that they don't drop charms. I was really hoping that these things would be really good charm droppers, because for the most part, all the recent new monsters in the game have been pretty decent charm droppers. I would say the majority of them. So it's a bit weird why this one hasn't been. Also, a lot of the monsters that have come out lately have been kind of disappointments. I would say ever since the Glacors came out, monsters have not nearly been... It took a really hard downturn from every quest monster since then. The automatons weren't very great, and then the last master quest, the celestial dragons, weren't great, and these aren't great either. So hopefully we get another great monster like that, but I'm not holding my breath for it anytime soon. A lot that can be expected here. The Muspahs do drop a lot of rune items, but I averaged it out to be about 2 mil an hour if you just pick up all the rune items. I wasn't picking up most of the runes and stuff like that because it slows your XP down. So just picking up the rune and dragon items strictly, it's about 2 mil an hour profit, so not a whole ton. But anyway, here's a slight clip. That glitch that I mentioned in the video yesterday was fixed, so I can in fact now get my comp cape back. I'm sure you all saw me wearing it in the video, so I'm very happy about that. So I'm really proud. Gotta say I'm happy with Jags on fixing that glitch so quickly. I was expecting to not have the comp cape for at least a couple weeks, but it was patched the very next day, so that's great. I have my comp cape back, very happy about that. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Farewell.